welcome. And my name is Brenda Starcher, and I've come to speak just a few minutes with you today about something that is very dear to my heart. Anne awakened to the sun shining through her cage-like bed. She had no awareness of where she was, how long she'd been there, how she got there. She looked around and there were other beds lining the walls. Those too were cage-like with metal bars. And there were also infants and children laying in those beds. They were sleeping, some were crying, some were sitting, waiting to be cared for, to be loved, to be held. This was Anne's first memory of life. She had no mother to love her. She didn't even know what a mother was, much like many other children who had come to Apple Creek Institution. Anne doesn't recall that she ever had a visitor during her stay at Apple Creek. Anne says that she didn't have any friends, she had no family. She was basically alone other than the caregivers there. Apple Creek was just one of many institutions throughout Ohio where individuals with developmental disabilities lived for many years. Some did have disabilities, others had undiagnosed mental health issues. Some children were deemed incorrigible. The law said that they misbehaved, and so they put them in Apple Creek. Some just didn't have parents to care for them or just didn't want to take care of them, and so they were abandoned there. A 2019 Center for Disease Control study online states that there are 1 in 4 Ohioans who have disability, some type of disability. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 people sitting here. Out of 5, at least 4 would have disabilities. And the comorbidities, which are the number of diseases or conditions that a person might have at the same time, that's what a comorbidity is. It could be hypertension, which is high blood pressure, obesity or smoking, higher than the average throughout the nation, and for DD individuals. But providers like Siffrin have stepped into the gap to provide needs of homemaker care services, transportation, community integration. They are helping with jobs and employment. I've been with the DD community for over 16 years, sometime as a group home manager. For the last 14 and a half years, I have functioned as a caseworker at Siffrin Inc. I have worked and volunteered beyond the scope of my employment. I have worked with people in the community who aren't part of an agency or in a group home. We help to provide services for transportation. We try to make sure that people are socialized in the community. For those that need jobs or assistance finding a job, we will help to find a job. And I did also for a time conduct foster parenting in my home for children with therapeutic needs and dual diagnoses. In the last 16 years that I have been involved with the DD community, there have been some good changes, some positive changes. Siffrin and other agencies have really stepped up to the plate. They've evolved to meet the needs that the state and the county governments have just walked away from. Siffrin has a community-like ethic. They desire to enrich the lives of people who have long lived in the shadows. That should not be. And it is my honor to share with you today the history and the vision of Siffrin. I'm going to pass out to each of you. I have a copy of one of Siffrin's annual papers that they share about their goings-on, the events that they're having, and some of the good things that are happening with their individuals that they provide services for. We also have a page that tells about the founding of Siffrin, how Siffrin came to be, and who helped to get that started. Siffrin has been a terrific organization that I have worked for, and the people that we serve find it to be a very family-centered, very loving organization. And so now I'm just going to share a little bit about Siffrin. In the mid-1970s, there were many people that were released from Ohio's institutions. Most of these people had no home to go to. They had no families to care for them. They had no one in the community to provide services, to help them live the full potential of their lives. Siffrin was just one of the agencies that came into being, but there were not very many in the 1970s. In 1976, Siffrin was established by friends and family of people who had developmental disabilities. Some, again, had mental health issues. And Elsie Siffrin bequeathed her estate upon her death to this organization in order to fund a group home so that they could begin to provide services to people who needed assistance. Siffrin has grown in the last several years to serve over 900 individuals with developmental disabilities, and they now function in 9 different counties of Ohio. Most of the individuals, or at least many of the individuals that we serve, have no families of their own, so it's very important that the individuals we provide services for have people who love them and care for them beyond the scope of employment. Siffrin began by establishing group homes that held 6 to 8 individuals, but some communities fought strongly to keep group homes from opening up in their neighborhoods. Siffrin was one of the agencies that fought all the way to the Ohio Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that the individuals who lived in group homes were not families. I can tell you that is wrong, because I've worked in the group homes. I've worked with individuals who share homes with other individuals in need, and they are family. They care for each other. They spend time together. They love each other. The Supreme Court was wrong. That was taken from the Ohio Supreme Court website, 2019. The agencies have evolved and developed services such as financial management, independent living. They provide community support services. And here are some of the services that Siffrin does provide. They provide financial and payee support. They manage benefits such as Social Security, SNAP cards for food benefits, Medicaid. They pay bills. In fact, in the last 3 years, we have assisted 2 groups of individuals in paying off their home mortgage loans. And we provide skill training such as cooking, cleaning, buying groceries. We coordinate medical benefits, financial benefits, community support and transport. We make sure that our people are socialized in the community by going to dances, to picnics. We attend group meetings for what we plan to do in the following year. We also take individuals on trips that they otherwise would not be able to take. In the past 2 decades, the state and county boards have removed themselves as a provider to individuals with developmental disabilities. They do still coordinate those services that are provided, but they no longer have the workshops, they no longer run the transportation. Those things have all been taken out and coordinated to private providers. Siffrin is one of those agencies who has stepped in again to the gap to provide many of those services. And you might want to know about Ann. Ann no longer lives in Apple Creek. She owns her own home. She retired from a job that she had worked for 15 years. She sings in her choir at church, and she has a very active social life. Let me ask you this today. I want you to think about this. Is there one person, just one, that doesn't deserve an opportunity to have a meaningful and satisfying life.